Hello, thank you for joining me on this Sunday afternoon. Here we go again. Carol's going off to the deep end again. These were pieces of leftover watercolor papers that I did a few years ago when learning, and this I believe was just a practice piece. So what I did was I cut them so that they would have some rhyme or reason, and then I decided, well, now fine, what am I going to do with them, Carol? So of course I went into my stash and I found some bits that I thought might work. I found this and this and this all on one piece, and it just cried out to be here. So this here, this and that. That kind of speaks for itself. Oh, and after I got this done, congratulations, better late than never. But I remembered to take some pictures. So I found the makings of these all in this this collection of papers that I've had for eons. So I also found this, and this, of course, as you can see, is glossy photo paper. And I was just playing ages ago with inks and alcohol inks, and it was fun doing, but nothing I wanted to do again. It isn't. This is a fun thing to do, I suppose, but it's not Carol. So, but of course I kept it, and I thought, well, maybe I could use it here, and I tried, and I thought about it. No, it didn't work. And then I thought, what would happen if I made copies? So I made a copy of this on nicer quality paper, and blah, but still there, workable as background maybe. And then I thought, well, I wonder what will happen if I use this, and to be honest, this must have had something to do with this type paper going through the machine, although I have put this vellum through the machine before and it has worked fine, but not so bad. So this was by way of an experiment, and that will be tucked away. And these are the bits of that I've had stashed for, as I said, eons, maybe at least 2 years. And I managed to make this using bits and bobs. This is just the 1, 2, 3 pieces, and here are a few more. All right, now, having had a little chance to think about this, I kind of know what I want to do here. I'm thinking I'm just going to play with the pen on this one, because as you can see, there is pen work in this piece of collage. Okay, so now these funky monkeys. I think what I'm going to do is mark the place on here using these new Uniball Signos DX, very fine, 0.28 point gel pens, because they are permanent. So if I make any marks on here, when I pick these up and decide to play with my watercolors, it shouldn't cause a problem. And fingers crossed on that. Let's just, I think these are all one piece. Yes, it is. So I'm going to just lightly go around here with my pen, and this is It's not hot pressed, it's not cold pressed. This is heavy grained watercolor paper, and that's what my teacher thought we ought to be able to do washes with, because if we can do it there, we could do it anywhere. And let's see, this I believe is a unique piece. Let me put that here, so we'll have an idea where things are when we start playing watercolor. So this would be here, and this would be here, and whoopsie daisy, this would be here. Let me make this turn. Okay, here, 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 and I do hope you have had a pleasant Sunday afternoon. And let's do this. So let's see now. Did this? Yes. Yes. Okay. Now I have some idea of what's happening. I'm going to leave these, I believe, right up here so that I can see what colors I'm going to be dealing with there. So that's that one done, and I have this is my yellow Mission Gold watercolor paint, and I have given it a good spritz of water. Now these are strong, well pigmented colors, because I thought, as you can see, let's see if I can get close enough so that you can see the grain on this paper. Oops, it's a little too close. Let's see. Can you see that grain? Let me see. Yes, I think you can. The modeling in here is the grain. Up here. Okay. And now let's get this one. This is quite a few pieces. So I'm going to take this time to do the same thing on this, because it will take too long for you to be watching me outline something. And then I think I will start, while I'm doing that housekeeping, I'm going to put down these pieces of collage, these 3 pieces, onto this one, and get out my my pens, and let's see what we can do to start to play a little bit here. Since this is the focal on this piece, I don't know why, but this seems to be calling me to outline it, and I didn't want to outline it in lines, and I'm using my Uniball Signo number 207, which is rather a medium one, and you can find them in Walmart, etc. Now these are the ones that are not permanent. The difference is the DX up here. And I didn't want these marks to be as fine as the 0.28 is. Let's see, I'm losing it right there. Let's get it back. Let's get it back. This grainy watercolor paper makes this a challenge, but that's what makes it fun, at least to me. These the red and the green are blending in together and making happy mud. And I'm afraid to admit that I often love the mud that happens. Probably more than I ought. But now, this going up into here a little bit. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Almost looks like a fall leaf to me, with my imagination kicking in. Go right down this hard line. And we have to stop and have a think. Have to have a think about this. I'm going to come at this from the other end. Up there. No, this has this, yes. In fact, I'm going to include this. No, I still haven't thought about that. No, I haven't. I'm stopped right here. So I'm going to take a trip over here. maybe. Just a small one here. These are rather simple leaves. These will be fun to make. All right. That climbs the roses up here, the rose leaves up here a little bit. And maybe one more. This line, over here. Pilot. Time for pilot. Pilot down here. think that I need to stop on this one for a while. I have to think this and this through. I think I'm starting to see something here connecting this to this area. But then again, maybe not. So, this goes over here for think time. Let's relax a little bit with some watercoloring on here. This needs to come down here just to give me some idea of what's happening. I don't need all the leaves, I just need the big ones. Alrighty, now let's have a nice little square brush. This needs to, what is this? Princeton Velvet Touch 1/2 inch wash brush. Ah, okay. And I better put this. Well, that's a start at best, but I love it when something makes me stop and think about it a bit. And here's my Viva. There. Alrighty. Let's play up. I'm going to, believe it or not, I'm going to start at the bottom up here. Let's, I want to play up some of this blue. Yes, I do. I want to play up some blue. I'm wanting to do that with a little bit of peacock added in. Little bit of peacock added in. Oops. No. Not happy with that. Now we need to go back to... Now let's see what we have here now. And I can always start up under here because that's the safe spot. And let's see what we're going to get. If we just add just a titch, just the slightest titch, and this paper will soak this in quite nicely. And let me blend it out nicely too. Let's blend this out nicely. Clean water to blend. That's playing up the blues down there a little bit. I wanted to do. Okay, let's play out some of this over here. And water, clean water to move this a little bit. Let's have some clean water to take away these lines. No lines allowed, At least not at this point. Now the color underneath with the blue, of course, is going to make a nice greenish color. Alrighty. Now, let's get some pink in there. Which one do we want to use? Why don't we just use some palette? Why don't we just use a little bit of palette color here and see what happens. Let's run this out here a little bit. Clean up, get it moving before it gets thinking it lives there. But it might not be all bad, because this and this is what comes over here. Yes, not such a bad thing. Not such a bad thing at all. Okay, let's bring some of this out and down. And let's get rid of it. Let's move it away a little bit. Let's move it away a little bit. Let's get a little bit of just a tiny smidge of yellowy green up here. Well, let's use the palette color again. That worked last time. Let's try it again. And that would have been up in here and down along in here and here. So let's spread that now with well, you don't want to move, do you? Okay, but I want you to move. I'm sorry, I'm talking to the watercolor here. Not enough water. Not enough water. We get that moved out. And this quality of watercolor paper is completely able to do what I wanted to do. Because it's 100% cotton, it leaves this leeway. Now, that one, mixed with that one. Strange but true, the shade of blue-gray, greenish, that might work right up here. Let's see if it does. Yes, I think it will. And just a little bit over the edges here. And let's get some let's get some clean water going here before this decides to become cement. And we don't want that to happen. Oopsie daisy. Did I dilly-dally too long? Maybe I'll mix these two. A little bit of that coming in here wouldn't hurt. It's interesting. Red, blue, and it's making a nice green mud. I love it. Yeah. Let's see what we have. Let's see what we have. If this is a figment of my imagination or not. Or not. No, it isn't. Okay, I'm going to, this is going to be tricky business now. Putting, I think I'm going to go a little bit brighter over here. I I'm going to go a little bit brighter in here. And see what happens right there. If we put some here, that's where we're headed. Now let's see if we can get this to move out to play outside the collage. Not so much. Not so much, but I wanted to. So that's the value of using square brushes. For some reason, they can often be persuaded to do what you want them to do. Maybe not persuaded enough. We'll see. I want more pink out here. Watercolor has a life of its own, but sometimes you have to remind it exactly who's in charge. And that's me right now. That's me right now. Everything has to blend in together here. Everything has to be together. I'm not having the slightest idea what I'm doing, but I'm doing it vigorously. Got some of this here. Now it's drying, so of course it's lightening. Got some of that there. Like to have some of this Viridian, would I? Would I just? Not happening, Carol. Needs more blue with that one, so we'll take some of this and we'll put it over here. Why don't we? Why don't we just? Might be there. Needs more blue. Needs more blue. Well, let's see if I just lay some of this down right down here. And see what happens here. Okay, let's move some of that out to join the party. Okay, come on, come on. Play nicely. No, I'm not happy there. We didn't. Something funny happened here. Let's take away the funny. It's hard to get these colors to lie next to each other without fighting for space. Let's see, whoopsie daisy, no good up here. Look at that, trying to make a line on me. No. No. Now, I think it's time for me to go in the kitchen and play Kitchen Witch. So, let's see what we've been able to make so far. Let's just, see what we've been able to make thus far. I have the slightest idea what's going on here or what's happening or what I'm doing, but it's fun. It's fun. This one is going to be, that one, my. That could put this whole thing under the building because of that. Well, that's what I'm going to look forward to. And going to have more of a think of on this one. But in the meantime, I have a hungry self and a hungry husband, so I will be returning. I'm starting to see something here. I have no idea what, but it's talking to me. Well, I'm back and it's the next day, and old Carol Martine Art is at 6s and 7s over this. So, executive decision time. I want to do a little work on this. I think I see the road I can travel on this one, and I have treated myself to some Prismacolor pencils. And I have treated myself to, well, we already have these black pens out, and then there is a little bit of Jane Davenport's original watercolor pens. So, using the permanent, let's get something going here. If you can notice, I made that a rather large leaf, so I'm going to put a couple more here, I think, and I added a bud up here, and I'm in a quandary as to whether or not I should have another bud, but that's a good quandary. So, okay, that's our plan for this. Then, I had a good look and decided that I would put these bits down, and did. And I'm liking the little bit of pink here and the little bit of blue here, tiny bit of pink, and this green I added, but this was part of the original paper, and this is actually the greens. I see some yellow in there and almost some apricot. This is all painted add-ons that I did, and I've decided that less is more on the background. Glued this all down, and I have happy thoughts about this one. This one, not so much. I have thought about this, and the problem here, of course, is the color of this background. So, executive decision number 2. This is going to be put up here against my baby wipes so that it can plague me until I figure out a way to make myself happy and to make this work. This background has me stopped, and I love to be stopped because there has to be a way around this situation. If you have any genius ideas, please share with this person whose back is up against a wall with this one. Okay, so there it goes, over behind the light. There it is. Just enough to torture me. Okay. Let's... Okay. Bud. added buds. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alrighty. Let's have something here which says leaf. Small ones this time, I believe. And another one here. And a small one right here. And of course something in here, losing itself behind the amoeba in the middle. Alrighty. Now, some rather plain leaf designs here. Yes, some rather plain ones here, all the way across. And one here. Here. Nice plain Janes. Let's see what's happening. Do we like that? Do we like it? It's not there's anything you could do about it, Carol, because this is permanent. Let's have this one behind the butterfly wing. And here to take up some space here. And amoeba butterfly wing. I think yes. Now, I haven't tried this in quite a while. I mean, it has been, oh, lower CB. That color doesn't do it. No. I'm talking to the Jane Davenport over here. No. No, not even. These are watercolor pencils. Not so much. Okay, I know you want to join the party, but you are just going to have to wait a bit. Let's see. It's been at least a year. And greens are not the long suit on Prismacolor. But if I do green and maybe this one, let's see what might happen. Let's see what might happen. Let's see if we get something that just might work. And of course, on this heavy-grained watercolor paper, I'm trying to get blood out of a turnip. No. You just think that's going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Okay, this to start. Let's try this to start. Just a little bit. Just a smidge of color. There's that word again. I never say smidge unless I'm talking to you. Something. Let's get going here. let's get to going here. Let's make this the dark side and a nice colorful tip over here. And let's put in a little, let's put just a little bit of oh, Lorsy B, orange something something. Orange something something. Let's see what happens. I see something happening. I'm just not too well. It's not terrible. Let me come back. Let me get this on all of them. And if you haven't used Prisma, they're wonderful, 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 because you can keep going over it and over it and over it till you get the most beautiful satin effect. Let's see if we can get something going here now. And let's leave that color that shows through right there. Let's get some of this worked in here now. And a little of that up in here because it works with that. And just a little touch right here. Okay. My kingdom for olive green. My kingdom for olive green. Kingdom for olive green. No. I'm mixing. This is Derwent watercolor pencil. Let's see what we do here. I'm not too happy with that. We have to have a better plan. Yes. We have to have some better plan. No, it's not going to be too happy with that. How about 207? How about 207? Let's give this more strength. Let's give this just more strength. Let's see if we can do a little cheat of the eye here. Is this a solution? Maybe a little bit of more of one. And then we can always darken these up. Oh yeah, we can. Sure can. Part of the fun of doing our art is figuring out ways to get ourselves out of a pickle. And I'm sure in the pickle barrel right now. Yes, I am. I'm in the pickle barrel. Let's get some more here. And we have some here. And we have here. Even this heavy-grained watercolor paper does not stop a uniball signal. Oh no. If you want it, you're going to get it. make a little statement there. And here. This waxy Prismacolor right over. Now this bit is going to be fun. Let's have a little fun. Let's have a little fun with the this one was here. Let's see what we can do here. We need one more into the dark. Is that going to do? Maybe. Let's see. Let's just have a little bit of right here. Let's start out with this one. Let's see what we can. Let's see. Let's keep these lined up so we'll know what happened here. Rouge Poppy Red. Let's have a little bit of poppy red in here. And you just keep going back over and over. And not only do you get depth of color, you really get pretty good coverage. Let's see what we can do here. Poppy red, but I want some pinkishness up here. Let's have a little bit of pinkishness now. Well, that was a good blend. You forgot to do it though, Carol. Let's try that. And let's come down. Let's come down through here with something a little darker. Just a smidge. Well, we're on the track, however. I'm going to just work this canary right over all of this. I'm going to work it right on top of the poppy, on top of the whatever. Let's have some of that here, down here. Oh yes. Now that it's getting waxy, something's happening. And the light yellow got it waxy. Over and over until you can feel it moving on the waxiness. Okay, that's too much. I don't know. No. We need a little more something here. We need to just lay in a little bit more something right here. So, and then, of course, was a little bit of that. And now I'm thinking I might be just forced to use this over here. I think so. I'm going to set that aside. All right. Let's jump right in to the big one. Let's come down here. Do you see the type of paper that I'm fighting here? Something dark, dark, dark. We need dark here now. I know we have dark. We need dark right there. Oh yes. We surely do. And it's just doing what it needs to do. We need to have some dark here. The more layers and the more times you rub, the more wax goes down. And lightest color. And over it all. Over it all, like our lives depend on it here. And I'll show you, I wish you could feel the wax start to build up from these Prismacolors. Because I certainly can. And need a little more something something on this side. Some here. Because I keep going back over where I've been. Layers, layers, layers. Suggestion is there. Let me see if I can get you closer to seeing that. You can feel the wax layer right there. You see it? Okay, now a little bit of 207, because it certainly needs it. We need to have the growth area here. It's a rather large flower, so let's bud. So let's get it. Let's see what we can do here now. Mountains and valleys again. I'm so unhappy with the center of this flower, so we're just going to make it our own. This is let's just have some something right here. Why not? Okay. Yes, we needed a little bit of a statement down there, didn't we? Yes. Let's do this one. Now this is shiny paper. And here goes that doing what it needs to do. I like this. I do like this. I think we need another one. I think we need another one right there. And maybe right there. Well, I think I'm going to set this aside for a while and come back to play. And I actually don't even think I'm going to completely finish these, but you can get an idea of where I'm thinking of going here. I'm wondering if a line up in here, but it would be a major decision to make, and it could be a catastrophe. We don't know. No, we don't. So, I'm thinking of coloring these leaves and maybe just leaving these doodles. Let's see if we really darken them to play off this at the bottom. How about, yes, Pilot. Let's see what happens here with Pilot. Okay. These I'm going to color. These I'm not going to color. Let's see. I'm going to color these leaves and this bud. We've got a lot of stuff here. We've got these simple shaped puppies right here. Let's get this. Goodness, this is really tricky business with this grain on this paper. This one definitely needs to have some this one comes this way. Well, between this one and starting on this one, I think I'm just going to do a little finishing here, a little bit of housekeeping, and I'll come back. Oh, look at all of these that I missed. Can't see the forest for the trees sometimes. Then I believe I'm going to stop and make a part 2. We'll set this aside and have a good think about it. And then on part 2, we will plunge off the deep end again. So, I'll be back when I have this top bit, this bud done, and these added leaves darkened, because they have to play off the bottom here, and the coloration here, and the darkness here. Well, I'm sharing this part 1 with you, and I put my thinking cap on, and I found the olive shades that we need. These are Derwent Inktense pencils, and they certainly will do the job. This is fern, leaf green, and light olive, and didn't we need them? So here we are. I knew that they would be around someplace, and there they were, waiting for me to play with them again. So for this, we have done some stuff, managed to solve some problems, managed to experiment, and I do hope that you have enjoyed this. We will come back to the finishing up little bits and bobs on here at the beginning of part 2, and then we will we'll work on this, which is just crying out loud for as many uses of the pen and other pretties that I have in mind. If you have, these are the Prismacolors that we use to make these buds. If you have enjoyed this experiment, and that's what I have to call it, if I'm honest, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. I enjoy them, and I answer them, and I would appreciate your subscribing to my channel. Let's have a close-up look now at what we have thus far. This is our bit of collage, and this bit down here is the collage that I added to this painty background. Bye now. See you soon.